with your main man G, who I got across from me right now.
Oh, you already know Mike on the mic. Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, who we got over there to the side?
The one and only.
You're no longer the one and only. Now you Big Wade. We gotta call him Big Wade.
Big Wade, big facts.
You know how we do it.
Why they call you Big Wade though?
That's who I am. I'm Big Wade.
Man, everybody in Chicago say, man, you gotta start calling him one and only. He Big Wade where we from. I said, all right. Shout out to Big Wade.
You gotta tell him why you called me the one and only. Talking about something. Big Wade.
I don't know. You know what? Mike, what we got on the agenda today?
So we live. I would like to talk about Joyner Lucas and his latest video, Devil's Work. Now, if y'all don't know who Joyner Lucas is, he's a rapper from Massachusetts. He came on the scene a couple years ago. He made big news with his video, I'm Not a Racist. Mm-hmm. That dropped last year, and it made over 100 million views on YouTube. Crazy. And it was Grammy nominated, too, for Best Music Video of the Year.
Joyner Lucas, he's an independent artist.
No, he's actually signed by Atlantic Records right now. He has a... People know him in the hip-hop game.
Why you brought him to the table?
Huh?
Why you brought him to the table?
Because of Devil's Work. Like I tell people, I'm Not a Racist made so much, I didn't think he could top it. His visuals are amazing. Mm-hmm. Like he got really big off his videos. Like you see his video and it just caused so much controversy. Now this music video is controversial and I know it's gonna top I'm Not a Racist. And I have it actually queued up if Hyro will play it for us right quick and back in the studio.
Everywhere I turn, I'm seeing MCs vanish. Lot of good niggas gone, I don't understand it. Lot of families lost and they seeds stranded. I ain't trying to disrespect you, I just need answers. I know you watching us from heaven thinking who to save. Cherry picking who should go next and who should stay. I'd be on my way to heaven if I knew the way. And bring back every good nigga you choose to take. They say you never wrong, but you done made a few mistakes. Cause you taking the wrong niggas, maybe you should trade. Trade us back all the real ones, remove the fakes. I think you should trade. Give us 2 pop back and take that nigga shook. Let the legend resurrect that he gon' live for good. I be screaming thug life in every different hood. If only you can bring him back, Lord, I wish you would. Give us Biggie, give us Pun, give us Triple X. Take that nigga Trump with you, that's a bigger threat. There's too much power for a coward with no intellect. That's a bigger with a collar, there's a disconnect. Niggas dying, mama crying, grandma need a tissue. Niggas shooting up a church, now I need a pistol. All them niggas still living, you don't see the issue. But how you taste a leader, then you take a leader with you. I ain't tryna disrespect, just need a meter with you. I ain't tryna overstep, just want a reason with you. Give us back our loved ones and take the evil with you. Send them suckers straight to hell, they don't need a vigil. I need you to give us back Martin Luther. Take Martin Shkreli, give us back Malcolm. Take R. Kelly, R.I.P. Lil Snoop. Get that boy's life back. Take Eric Holder, give us Eric right back. I'm sending you this message, Lord, I hope you hit me right back. They say I'm on the wrong train, I know I'm on the right track. Cause Trayvon gone and all he did was try to fight back. Zimmerman walk around free, we don't like that. Why?
Understand something. Why wouldn't you question it?
You right.
Do you believe in God?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I haven't been
What
to church.
type of God?
I've been baptized. I haven't been to church in a minute.
What type of God you believe in?
I believe.
Because I feel like we're in 2019 and we got to ask people, what type of God you believe in?
I believe in Jesus.
Because there's a Scientology God, there's a Buddhist God, you know what I mean? There's Allah, there's Jehovah.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know, they even say Jesus is God. So, what type of God you believe in, sir?
I believe that Jesus Christ is our Lord and Savior. He died on the cross for us and, resurrected himself. He was a cool dude. Turned water into wine, walked on water. Not a lot of people could do that. Feel me?
Respect. That's dope.
But yeah.
Mr. Big Wade.
What's up, bro?
Your spirituality. Explain it to us.
Explain it to us.
Yeah.
When we're talking about religious, right?
Yes, sir.
Religion. I believe there's a higher spirit. So I believe somebody's higher than us. It's a reason why we're all here.
Facts.
And we all have to figure out what that reason is, why we were put here. But, everybody don't believe that there is a God. Because I don't know if you do. Do you? You believe there's a God?
I believe there is a higher entity.
There's a higher entity, yeah.
All I know is, when I pray, if I pray hard on something, things happen. You just I call it God. People call it karma. People call it positive vibes. The word we've been using today, synergy. That's something that we can't control. Like we put stuff in order and then things happen. there is a reason behind it. There could be a bigger plan that we can't see behind it. At the end of the day, like I said, just in my case, I don't preach religion to anybody, but I know when I pray, things happen.
No
No doubt. How often you pray?
Almost. I don't pray every night. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I pray when things are bad. I pray when things are good. I pray. I thank God for the blessings that that He has bestowed upon me.
Okay. Well, that's nice. So who we bringing out? Who we bringing out today?
Man,
That's our
we
special guest.
got the man of the hour.
The man of the hour.
Fresh off his gala over the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Why it's still buzzing. He's still hot, and he's always going to be hot. One of the hottest guys in Miami. Y'all ready to bring him on?
Yeah, go ahead.
We're going to bring on Dexter Bridgman. Bring Dexter out, y'all. The man of the hour, y'all. He just got through with his 2019 Legacy Gala and reception. Dexter, what's up, my brother? What's up? How you doing, my brother? Love.
How you doing,
Glad
sir?
to have you.
All right, brother. How you doing?
Good.
How you doing, Dexter?
I'm doing great, man. Glad to be here.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So before we get into this big interview right now, we're going to take a light commercial break. You are now tuning in to Wadedifferent Live here at Boogie Live Studio. You heard?
So let me take y'all back. That led me to go to the Army. In 1982, Dwyane was born. We had a neighbor that would call the police on us all the time because we would be out there 1, 2 in the morning playing basketball. The dream was for everybody in the family to go to the league. Everybody did go to college.
Very special guest in the studio. He's one of the greatest men to ever step foot on a basketball court. The best defensive guard of all time. The ambassador of the Euro step. Who slices through the lane like a ninja in rush hour traffic. The 3-time NBA champion. Olympic bronze and gold medalist. The mayor of Wade County. 6'4" guard from Robbins, Illinois. We have Dwyane.
I'm in here. I'm here, you know. Like, I'm not leaving the game feeling like I left anything on the table. You know what I'm saying? I'm leaving like, you know what? I gave everything to it. I accomplished this, I accomplished this, I accomplished this. So I can walk away from the game. So it feels good right now to know that you know, everything that I wanted to accomplish and more that I did, so I can walk away and not look back.
Everybody, it's Dwyane Wade Sr. Want y'all to come out and be a part of our Father's Day weekend. Yes, it's going to be at North Miami Senior High School. Don't miss it. It's the 13th through the 16th. We're going to have a lot of activities, a lot of fun. As usual, it's going to be a great time. So don't miss it. Tell your family, tell your father, tell everybody to come out and be a part of one of the most wonderful Father's Day events that's ever thrown here in Miami.
Back on the Wadedifferent Live station here at Boogie Live Studio. Shout out to Irie. And we got the main man, Dexter, with us. How you doing, Dexter?
I am fantastically well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good. Great.
Great.
If you guys don't know, Dexter is the founder of the Legacy brand, where he goes ahead and show great representation to not just Black African Americans, but people of color and other I forgot it, ethnicity. I got it correct. I apologize, Mom, if you're watching. You just came off a gala. How was the gala?
The gala was, this is not my words. This is using one of the honorees' words. It was epic.
It was epic. Man, we're going to go ahead and give you a round of applause for that. Congratulations on that. So, my main question, what inspired you?
Well, I tell you, when I moved down here 15 years ago from New York, I opened up the Miami Herald, and they did a section on the best realtors in South Florida, and it had all these white men, Hispanic men, and I think 3 or 4 Hispanic women, and nobody black. Like, mind you, this was a time when everybody was selling real estate. If you were a doctor, he was selling real estate on the side. If he was a lawyer, selling real estate on the side. So I was just amazed that they couldn't find not one black person that was doing well in the real estate game. So after that, I said, because I had a background in magazine publishing in New York, and I was still doing that. So I said, you know what? I'm going to start a publication down here, highlighting the achievements of the black community. And that's what I did. So I moved down here in May of 2004, and November of 2004, I started my first issue. And I had 2 paid advertisers, but I had my publication was 48 pages, and I said to but I had other advertisers, but they were free. And I said, if you like what you see, would you come back? And they said yes. And I said, would you pay for it? And they said yes. So that started. After that issue, it was downhill from there.
Wow.
And that was
Well, you've been labeled an icon, a man of many talents,
Oh, wow.
a powerful media influencer. What were you dreaming about as a kid back in Brooklyn?
Well, I tell you, man, I think had I known, and as you are all of that as well, and a mentor and what have you. And when I was a kid, my dreams and aspirations was to just get to college. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Honestly, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew I had to go to college. I had to go to college. And I will tell you, had I had the right type of instruction in high school, I would have gone to culinary school.
Wow. Why
But
you say that?
I didn't know anything about culinary arts, but I love to cook, and I'm a foodie to this very day. But I didn't know anything about culinary arts, and my guidance counselors didn't tell me anything about it. And although they asked me, what do you like to do? I said, I like food, I like to cook. And it would have been very easy for them to say, well, go to culinary school. But they didn't, and I didn't know anything about it. So, my only aspiration was I had to go to college. I just knew that would change my life and the trajectory of my life.
So I would like to ask you the significance of you pledging a fraternity at Hofstra University.
Yes.
Alpha Phi Alpha.
Yes.
How did that come into play?
Very interesting. Didn't know much about fraternities and sororities, but when I got there, and I do think that, if you're a freshman, you come on the yard, it really depends on what school you go to. That determines whether you're going to be an Alpha, a Kappa, a Q, or a Sigma, or an Iota. It's basically who you kind of gel with.
Yeah.
Gel with. I was an academic. I was always kind of smart. So the Alphas I saw that the Alphas were this kind of, in terms of projection, in terms of what the Alphas were all about, period, is like the smart guys and what have you and what have you. So I kind of gravitated to that, and it's been 37 years, and it's been a wonderful experience. And it's always amazing. Sometimes people say, "Well, that frat life is not for me. I'm not a follower." It's not about being a follower. It's not about being a follower at all. When I moved down here, I met some brothers who paved the way for me, made things very easy for me. When they found out I was an alpha, reached out to them, they opened up some doors.
It's a network. It's a network, if anything.
Exactly.
Because I think people have the negative stigma of fraternities as, the hazing. And first thing that comes to my mind when I think of fraternity is stomp the yard or something like that. Just a bunch of brothers stepping, but it's much more than that.
It's much more than that. And I'll tell you, you have a lot of fun in undergrad and what have you, but the real work starts when you graduate. That's when you put in the work. That's when you're wearing the colors on the yard, you're walking around, big man on campus and what have you, stepping and what have you. But when you graduate, that's when the work starts. The giving the back, the mentoring and what have you.
Okay.
Would you say that legacy is someone has a body structure of the fraternity you was involved with?
Not really. Not really. I mean, in terms of, it could have been anyone starting Legacy. Legacy was started, as I said, out of they say necessity is the mother of all invention, and I looked at it that way. No one was editorializing our success, our achievement in the black community. So, again, if not me, then who? If not now, then when? I decided to make that decision to do it now, as opposed to when, or as opposed to waiting to see if someone else would. And again, 15 years later, we're the largest distributed black publication of our kind, not in Miami, not in Broward, not in Palm Beach, not in South Florida, not in the state of Florida, but in the entire country.
And that's what it worked out to be.
That's right.
You giving this great acknowledgement to, how can I say, small businesses and things like that. What are their feedback to you? Well, what are their responses to you when they say, "Yo"?
Well, it's I've been blessed lately to get some really great awards, and I'm very humble, and I'm not used to being. I'm used to being the one giving the awards, not receiving, and that's what I look at as my purpose. So it's a great feeling when we put out our nominations for the power issue, and you're getting 200 or 300, and you only have 50 spots. When we do the 40 under 40, which is by far the most prolific in terms of numbers that we get, because everyone wants to be a 40 under 40, and if you're 39 or you just turned 40, you're never going to be a 40 under 40. I mean, so if you're 39, you got 1 year to do it.
It's a benchmark.
It's a benchmark. And it's a great feeling when people tell me that, they were promoted because of that, or
that's astonishing.
All these type of accolades they've received from their companies and clients and what have you. I had one person who was a partner at a law firm, check this out, say to me that his mother, now this guy's a partner at a major law firm here in Miami, and she would always say, "Oh, that's nice, son, that's nice," every time he got something, graduated with good grades. And until he made the paper, so it was in Legacy, that's when she says, "Oh my God, you made the paper."
That's something she can hang on the fridge right there.
Right.
I remember one year when I first met you, you actually did a magazine that I was in, matter of fact.
Absolutely.
And actually, my wife was in 40 Under 40.
Yes, she was.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Danielle.
Absolutely.
And that award, one of the awards that you got was the NAACP Media Communication Award of Florida, right?
Yes, yes.
That was a big award.
That was huge. That was because they could have chosen anyone,
Yeah.
and they selected me. So I was very humbled and very happy about it. And you know, it means a lot to me. It means a lot to me.
I know you got a host of other publications that you're doing as well.
Yes.
But let's talk about what is it, Jazz in the Garden?
Yeah.
What's your connections with that?
We are the official publication. One of my publications, we have three. We have Legacy Miami and Legacy South Florida. Those two publications are business-focused publications that editorialize the success and the achievements of the black community. Then we have a publication called MIA, which is an entertainment publication.
Lifestyle.
Which is a lifestyle, entertainment, and luxury publication. So what we have done with Jazz in the Gardens in the city of Miami Gardens, we've been partnering with them for probably the last 7 or 8 years to become the official publication of Jazz in the Gardens. So we interview all their stars, all the artists. We interview the behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, all of that. It's a great honor. It's a great honor to be able to be selected as the official publication for Jazz in the Gardens.
Let's talk about your trial and error in the process to getting where you are now.
Mm-hmm.
What did you have to endure?
Well, I tell you, it hasn't been easy, but
It's the sweetest story too.
I'm very passionate about what I do. 2004 to about 2007, just going right along. The speedway, just everything going very, very well. Mm-hmm. Then, of course, we all know about the recession. Mm-hmm. Damn thing almost killed me. Because from 2008 to about 2011 or 12, especially in my industry, we took a beating, and I took a beating. And it's funny because you say to yourself, I'm gonna work hard, I'm gonna work smart. It didn't matter how hard you worked. It didn't matter how smart you worked. Nobody was buying advertising. A publication, just like a radio, just like this show, how does the show make it? Through advertising, right? Mm-hmm. Through your sponsors. The same thing with me. How my publication survives is based upon advertising sales, and no one was advertising. So I ended up getting sick. I ended up getting a stroke because just worrying myself to death.
And stress is serious. Huh?
Yeah, stress is no joke.
Yeah. And how hard was it for you to overcome that?
Well, I mean, as far as the stroke, as far as the whole situation.
The situation leading up to the stroke and coming out
and
getting back up to do it.
I just knew, the one thing, I never gave up faith. I never gave up faith. And I just knew that it had to be something on the other side of the mountain. I didn't work this hard to fail, and I wasn't going to let it beat me. I was going to let the stroke beat me. I was going to let the economy beat me. And then, I always tell kids, and Wade, I'm sure you do the same thing. You tell them, you got to make sure your underwear is clean every day, make sure your socks clean every day, because you never know what the situation is. And guess what? I'm down to my last $5,000 in the bank. Mm-hmm. And to some people, that may sound like a lot of money. That's no money at all when you're running a business.
True.
When it's no money. I get a call from the Miami Herald saying, hey, Dexter, we've been watching you for a while, and guess what? We want to partner with you. And I said, well, what do you mean? They said, we'd like to see if you would be interested in having your publication distributed in the Miami Herald. And I'm like, okay. They said, when can you meet? I said, I'm willing to meet you guys as soon as possible. So we met the next day. And essentially, the deal that we put together was that they were going to do my printing.
Wow.
They were going to do my distribution. And all I had to do was share some of my revenue. So right away,
those costs went
The
away.
overhead was completely
The
going
overhead
away.
was gone.
Yes.
What a relief that was.
It was a globalization company
and
now.
that just started.
That overcome
That
right
just
there.
just started things. It didn't happen overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. Nothing happens overnight.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff only happens in the movies. Right, Ray?
Right.
It only happens in the movies. But it took a little time to where I am now, and we're bigger, we're better, we're growing, and we're looking to expand to Orlando. We're getting calls from the Carolinas to some people want us to do a legacy brand in the Carolinas with one of the newspapers out there.
Yeah, they because their market is definitely growing now.
Yeah, exactly.
After we went to the All-Star game, I started to realize there's a lot of economic development going on.
Yeah,
there.
there's
So it's definitely the spot to go, especially Atlanta too.
Yeah.
You guys are considering the Atlanta market?
Atlanta has, a market like Atlanta they have a lot of black media. They have a lot of black media, and they have a publication kind of similar to what I'm doing. So, as much as Atlanta seems really attractive and sexy, probably not a good move. But
Oversaturated
places
a little
like, saturated.
Oversaturated a
Yeah,
little bit.
exactly. But the Carolinas, like a Dallas.
New markets.
New markets,
So-
exactly.
I would like you to touch a little bit on BOMA. What is that?
Okay.
BOMA.
Yeah, BOMA.
A few years ago,
Because you're also the president now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you look at the Miami Herald or the Sun Sentinel or any of these other publications, or you're listening to the radio and you listen to WMBM, or you even listen to your station, the ads that they have on their shows, the ads that the Miami Herald has, we don't have. And so I got tired of seeing the president, the publisher of the Miami Times or the South Florida Times, the West Side Gazette. Hey, how you doing? Hey, man, let's get together for lunch. Hey, and we just keep it moving. So I called everybody together and said, listen, we got to, there's strength through numbers. And we started this organization called BOMA, and the whole purpose of BOMA is to help close the disparity gap that exists in terms of financially in the South Florida market as it relates to advertising with black-owned media.
And BOMA stands for the Black-Owned Media Alliance.
Yes. So that's where BOMA comes, Black-Owned Media Alliance. And it consists of 15 different outlets. We're in print, magazine, radio, and television.
Okay.
Well, if you're just tuning in, we're talking to Dexter Bridgman, the owner and founder of Legacy Magazine. Let's talk a little bit about American Black Film Festival and also Art Basel. What's your connection?
We're privileged again to be the official publication of the American Black Film Festival. We worked with Jeff Friday and his team for the last 10 years. So they'll be coming again here in less than a month, about a month's time, and we're actually working on that issue now. And what's her name? The ambassador this year is a man's wife, Lala Anthony.
Yeah, Lala
Anthony is the.
She's very involved.
Yeah, she's the ambassador this year. So we're gonna have her on the cover, and so anyway, with that, we're profiling some of the movies that will be coming out. They'll be profiling. They'll be highlighting the new Shaft movie.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing that. With Richard Roundtree and Samuel Jackson. I don't know who the third generation of Shaft is going to be.
Will there be a Samuel Jackson appearance?
I think he's going to be in the movie. He's going to.
I mean,
will he be
no.
there? No, he
Oh.
won't be there.
Isn't it
From what
Denzel
I
Washington's son?
understand, from what I understand, he's not going to be there. He's not going to be there.
He's not gonna be there.
Yeah, he's not going to be there. So yes, we are. So we are the official publication of American Black Film Festival as well. We've been doing that for over 10 years, and with the Greater Miami Visitors and Conventions Bureau, with Connie Kennard, We have formed a relationship with Art Basel. They do what's called the Art of Black. So we've created a publication for them as well. So, and that's with my MIA Entertainment brand publication. So we're fortunate to have these great partners.
Well, let's drop some knowledge on our listeners and everybody in the room. Something they don't know. How we met. I remember, living downtown at Citel, I think it was. Cite.
Yeah.
And we met on the basketball court, right? We met on the basketball court, and I gotta say, you're not a bad basketball player. I mean, I don't say that too much about too many people, but
I never heard him say it.
You wasn't that bad of a basketball player. I can honestly say that.
I appreciate that
from some of the games we
Somebody
played.
who knows the game as well as you do.
Well, let's tell people something that they don't know. You put me and my wife together.
Every time.
What was that like? What was you thinking about
And
when
they
you?
say
Let
you
me tell you
smooth,
something.
you the man.
Both of them liked one another, but they were both stubborn. She's like, well, she gotta call me, and he's like, she gotta call me.
Oh man.
They wasted about a couple of months, right? A couple of months went by almost,
We wasted
right?
a little bit more than that, I think.
Yeah, it
but
was almost like 4 or 5 months. But it was destined to be. It was destined to be.
But how does that feel? You putting us together, and now you look back, some 8 years, and now we're married. Just what's that feeling like?
I'm overjoyed and so happy for you guys because, we all know Wade is a great man, a man of God, a man of our community, a man of high moral standards and what have you. And his wife is, she's physically a beautiful woman. But you know what? As beautiful as she is on the outside, she's 10 times more beautiful on the inside.
Yeah. She be killing me, though.
And that's
She's like, Gary, get the job done. Gary, do this. Gary, you need to do that. Gary, I'm not playing.
All I gotta say, if you the love guru, if you got any young ladies you know, I'm just saying, I am on the market.
Look, there's a lot of women out here who would love to be up with, but look at this guy's shoulders.
Hey, listen, I hear that. You the love guru, Dexter. Let me know, son.
Well, you know what?
Dexter's the
It's
man.
amazing to be in the same room with you each and every time that we get together. And I know for this time right here is exceptionally amazing because of, coming off your gala weekend is
Congratulations.
still
Thank you.
popping right now. And I'm happy for you,
Thank
and
you.
your success.
Thank you.
After what you've been through, the struggles, and now to be successful at your magazines
Thank you.
and many magazines that you're doing right now. And we would love for you to come on the show. We would love to for you to be a part of our weekend, our All-Star,
Absolutely.
our
I'm
Father's
there.
Day
I'm
weekend
there.
coming up.
I'm
And
there.
I think it would be a plus to have you there and be a part of that weekend.
I'm there. I'll be happy to help out any way I can.
Well,
Provide
we thank you
assistance
for
any way I
coming
can.
on
Thank
to
you
the
for
Way
inviting me.
Different
for real.
Live. We couldn't have done this without you tonight. I
Thank
felt
you.
in my heart that it was definitely time to get you on.
I appreciate
And I
it.
thought this was the right time.
Thank you so much for
So
having
thank
me.
you again for coming on. Our guest has been Dexter Bridgman of Legacy Magazine. And if it's news around the world, then it's probably being heard right here on the Way Different Live. Share us with your friends and tune in next Wednesday and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. From me and my colleagues, good night, everybody.
Good night.
Night.